In this video, I'm going to show you the thinking behind six-figure launches. This is the accumulated experience of over 5 years of doing this thing for multiple companies in this space. I'm going to give you the email flows and the layout of the funnel, how everything looks, so you understand. And by the end, you should be able to map this out and offer it to a client. What has been like your biggest takeaway from being at the Hormozzi's office?
You run ads and people pay to buy from you.
You get more sales here and here. No money up front, but 10% of your sales.
I think that'd be extremely reasonable.
I don't know if you ever heard the saying that people who pay cheap pay twice. So I'm dealing with the consequences of that right now because I bought a very cheap car years ago. Now I'm dealing with the consequences, having to fix it up. But it might be time for me to upgrade. I like Broncos a lot, so I can go camping.
So the first thing you think about when you want to do a promo, Russell Brunson has this saying that people that pay attention. So which means that when people don't pay, people don't value it. So when you run a paid workshop, you're literally qualifying people who have the desire to improve their skills and improve whatever condition it is that you help them fix. You're killing a few birds with one single stone. Number one, you are getting people with high intent to buy. Number two, you are building your email list, and you're going to get sales in the back end, which means that your revenue is going up. And then and number three, you are getting customers for free. All right, car is in.
Dude, when you bring your car here, bro, it's like you walk in with a $100 problem, you walk away with a freaking $1,000 bill. It always works like that. This is the game of upselling. They're the ultimate marketers. So the things that you will need to run one of these paid workshops, you can keep them very simple. It can be just literally a Zoom, a landing page on Zoom. So people just register, put their email. If you want to be more sophisticated with it, where you have upsells and all that, like the way we do it, you need like a landing page and click funnels, or go high level. I got my car. Let's see what problem it has, or if it was, what's the deal?
All right, fortunately, no problems with the car. But anyway, so that is what you need for landing pages and funnel setup. Something that is important for you to understand as a copywriter, because when I was starting out, I didn't get the purpose of all these things, right? Nobody's trying to get rich with $47, guys. So what we're trying to do, number one, is high intent to buy, right? Making sure that people want to improve themselves. Like, people bet with their wallets, that's what they say, right? And two, we're trying to, and we have an upsell, brings the purchase value, or the average order value, AOV, which they call it, terms that you might need to know as a copywriter, as you get better as a marketer. If we have an upsell, that means that we're getting closer to the point where we're not paying to acquire customers. And that's when, like, literally you run ads and people pay to buy from you. That's the whole idea. So copywriters, this is the idea, is that you sell to clients. Upsell is pretty much what I told you about the mechanic. Like, you come in for an oil change, and then they find 3 more problems that you have to fix, which you have to fix them. But that's how people or businesses make more money, by upselling their customers. So in a workshop or in anything that you sell online, the way you want to think about upsells, so you have higher conversion rates. You don't want to just give people more of the same that they just got, because if you create something like that, you will not get higher take rates. Your upsell has to solve the next logical problem that your audience is going to face, or maybe the problem you created by helping them solve the first problem. Let's say that you're selling, oh God, that car almost hit me. Let's say you're selling the gym membership. You are solving one problem with that gym membership, the problem of not moving or being unhealthy. That is the first problem you solve, but when you solve that problem, you created more problems for your prospect, which means that they need clothes, they might need a personal trainer, they might need supplements, they might need a meal prep plan. So all those are possible upsells that make sense, and people will buy them because they are excited to make a change. You see how you increase the AOV of that customer just by having upsells? So this is how you want to think about offers and upselling in workshops. The next thing you need, which is the thing I'm about to go and write to this coffee shop right now, is promo materials. So you need about 10 emails. Then you will also need ads if you're running ads. And then what kind of ads do you want to run? Do you want to run like image ads or video ads? If you need video ads, you will need video scripts. And also, like, another thing to think about when it comes to ads, I'll give you more of the science as I sit down, but it's like, where in the funnel, what kind of ads do you want to run? For example, whenever I do promos like this and emails like this as well for promos, for workshops, I'm thinking about very direct ads and emails. So top of funnel, you know, very aware buyers, but I'm also thinking about unaware audiences, which means that I will use correlation. So there's one thing that you should know about working from home. There's this idea of, yeah, man, like cut on coffee and that's how you become a millionaire. But what I found out is that when I go out to a coffee shop, I spend $5, I'm in a good mood. So it's a higher ROI by me paying $5 for a freaking cold brew every single day than there is by me saving $5 a day on coffee. You get me? I made it to the coffee shop. Let me show you the layout of this place.
1940.
It's freaking sick. What do you think? Cool, right?
Yeah.
If you hit the back camera, so it flips. So hit that button. There you go.
That's legit.
That's cool, right? It's just like so small that you don't draw attention to it unless you're doing this.
Like you're on vacation and all that.
Yeah, like you can put this right here.
If you're doing anything adventurous.
And then that's it. Ahora sí me huele bien dicho. Alright, so I just got the coffee here. I got a cold brew and a water. Now I'm in a good mood to actually write something that is going to get results. And that's the whole point. Cheers. So now back to the masterclass talk. Let me show you a little bit more in the screen of what I'm doing here. Here, this is your LP. So this is where you do the whole workshop and all that. I have a upsell. So this is going to be about 47 to whatever price point you want to set. So your landing page price is going to be about $47. And then here you're going to have your thank you page. And then this is going to be your funnel. Like, it's as simple as this. And then to promote this, you're going to have something like, let's say that this is ads or emails. We're gonna make this look like something like this. I usually like to extend promos over a 10-day period or something along those lines because people have they don't remember things. So I want to be able to inject some urgency into it. So with this 10-day promo, I can easily present the idea, but also agitate the pain enough and overcome objections. Because that's the whole idea of a promo. Every single email should be overcoming objections. And then the last one is about urgency. So the first email is a tease of the idea, problem that we're trying to solve. Email 2, it's a confirmation email, like, hey, we're doing this thing. And then these are the most important emails. And then email 3 is all about the hard launch, where you actually tell people that you're running the promotion. Now, these 2 emails are different than anything else, but after that, you're literally just dealing with the same emails. This one and this one and this one, like all the way here, maybe these 4 are going to be like testimonial emails or belief shifting emails, or maybe you explaining the problem that you're solving better or the solution better. And then towards the end here, these are going to be emails that you send the last day. You get most sales here and here. There's always a dip on sales. Like when you start the promo, there's a spike in sales, then it just stays quiet. And then after that, like this right here, these are the emails that crush it all the time. So if anything, one thing I've learned is to send more email at the end, 2 times a day, just to get the last remaining people that are not converting over the top. So this is like a simple funnel. This is like an organic funnel, and then you have the ads, which is pretty much the same thing. Yo, we just got Bastard Joe out here, man. We're taking this into the
Okay, so tell us, how so good looking? You pray a lot, don't you? What's your skincare routine like?
Skincare routine, avocado and cucumber.
What are you working on?
So right now,
Do you really put avocado on your face? No. I just stole this mic right here. I love you guys. Love you, bro. Peace out.
peace out, bro.
I gotta go.
So we're doing the coffee shop right now, and all that fun. Just $5. That's not like every morning, but just the flow this morning is great. sunny. I saw a bunch of my friends in that place, and that was just $5. Like, you do the math. Like I said before, it's more expensive to stay at home than just spend $5 and come to a place where I can get good coffee, see friends, and I also wrote 2 scripts for the ads of the promo, and making a YouTube video. I'm in a good mood. Right now I'm going to the PT. I'm about to drive about 30 minutes. I want to bring you around. Next, I'm going to be showing you how I think about hooks when it comes to emails, when it comes to scripts. What are the things I'm thinking? Because there is a framework, bro, to write hooks in emails that make a bunch of sales. So when it comes to hooks, the way you want to think about it, it's like a shortcut to explain a very complicated topic. Ideas that are widely known by everybody and that you can borrow them to explain a very complicated topic. So as an example, video games, right? Everybody understands the concept of video games, right? Like life is a video game, there's levels to it, blah, blah, blah. There is this idea of cheat codes in some video games, like GTA, for example, has cheat codes. Mario, I think, has cheat codes as well. And if you play FIFA,
East on Newark Way toward Boyden Avenue.
you explain a concept like that, everybody understands that. And let's say that you're selling a complicated software solution or whatever. Instead of selling the features and benefits of that thing, which is boring as hell and nobody wants to hear it, you just explain the concept of cheat codes and then you correlate it back to your offer and say something like, all right, this is what it feels like when you buy this thing. It will feel like you have the cheat codes to achieve XYZ result. And you don't have to say anything else because the emotional attachment to that idea, it's already pre-built for you, and you're borrowing it from a concept that they know about. The main reasons why people won't buy from you are because of this acronym of MTV, money, time, and value. When you're selling something on email, you want to write emails that address these objections. Nothing I protect more than how I feel, because how I feel will depend on the quality of writing, even if I'm writing with ChatGPT. Like, it's weird that the bot responds to my energy. In the sense that I can command the bot to produce high quality ideas. The quality of outputs that you're going to get from the bot will depend on how well oiled your mind is to think differently. On the same topic of guarding your mental state whenever you write, one thing, dude, that you will need to, and I'm not saying that these are prerequisites, but I mean, these are things that help me getting in an abundance mindset, because output that you will produce if you write thinking that people don't want to spend money versus when you write as if people had money and they want to spend money, it's very different. Whenever you produce something from a place of scarcity and fear, people can feel it. And one thing that I like to do is, let me show you, drive around expensive neighborhoods. There's this beautiful home that I always see here. Like, it's just so modern. And this drive around here is so nice. And I see dozens and dozens of homes like that. And it just makes me feel like there is money to go around. And this will also help you when it comes to getting clients. If you get out of the mindset that people don't have money to spend, dude, like, it's going to serve you. Like, I don't see any scenario where having an abundant mindset doesn't help you. And like, I remember, bro, when I was like 20 and I was broke. I used to live in this town called Newark, New Jersey, and everything around me was the hood. And I got into this mindset that people did not want to spend money. So as a result, man, like, I didn't even want to shoot my shots at clients. But as soon as you start to go out and see that people are spending dumb amounts of money on stupid things, man, because they have the money, you start to behave very differently, and you start to ask for the money because you know that the money exists. It's just a matter of, can you create the value to actually make it yours? I know that we're kind of like going on a ramble when it comes to like the lounge that I was telling you about, but look, dude, I'm giving you everything. I just don't want to give you like, hey, this is the headline or this is the final. I want to give you like a raw behind the scenes of all these things and how I think about them. And this might not work for you. This is what works for me. And this one's going to make $500,000. It is going to. Like, I just know that is the conviction you need within your heart, that you are writing things that are going to convert. All right, we just made it to the PT. 10 a.m. About to see Joe. Super solid dude. He's been helping me with this thing on my hip. Yo.
Good, bro.
Morning, man.
What we got here?
Content day, bro.
Let's go.
What's good?
Let's go. You want another mic?
No, I have one. Just
Can I hook up? I can't. Mine's wired.
you want to see it? We didn't see
Yeah.
that one before, no?
I've never seen
Any tips for copywriters or people that spend a whole lot of time sitting?
I mean, what are the problems that they can see if they are over hunch?
Yep. So I'm sweating.
Content is hard, bro.
No,
sweating, you put in
I
your
was
work
working
and
out.
that-
I was working out. I gotta practice what I preach. Yeah. So copywriters
designers, they spend a lot of time sitting.
spending all day sitting, right? I can say it on the flip side. People who spend all day standing is actually a very similar issue. The issue is when we move, we get fluid flow in our body. Our body's 90% fluid. That's water, blood, whatever, right? So any stagnant position is going to basically have that fluid stagnant, and that's the nutrients in that fluid, which lubricates everything.
Okay.
So in general, anything you're doing for a prolonged period of time, do the opposite. So if you sit a lot for copywriting, stand up, move around, stretch out just a little bit. It sounds really basic, but that actually is enough to just offset a lot of like the
Let's go.
stiffness.
What would be a message that will get your attention? This is for all you new copywriters out there, because you're a business owner. You probably get approached a lot from people who want your business. What was
Yeah.
that?
So I think what would make it a no-brainer is, to be honest, social proof of showing me like they worked with this person. This is where they started.
Right.
This is where they're at now. And then what I would want to have, to be honest, would be some type of risk-free offer or some risk-free intro to get me in the door. So, I'll manage your page for 2 weeks, or give me something tangible where I can see it, and then that return on investment, if you're good at what you do, I'm going to see that, and it's going to be like, I'd be stupid to not continue to do this.
Right. So what about people who do not have like the social proof? What would they need to do to get your attention?
That's a good question. If they don't have the social proof, then I would honestly say, and I hate to say this because I want everyone to eat and make their money and do what they have to do, but I would say I would expand a little bit on that free offer, because at that point you're new.
Yeah.
I'm not. So I'm kind of taking the risk on you to an extent. So it's like, if you prove to me that this is going to work, then I'm going to be all in. But if I don't know you from a hole in the wall and you have no proof, why would I work with you? So the average life of a patient for me is worth about $6,000. And so if I think about traditional marketing says you want to spend 10% of where you want your business to go.
What if they were like, okay, no money up front, but 10% of your sales?
I think that'd be extremely reasonable.
That'll be good, right? Because
Yeah.
if they cannot figure that out, they're gonna be like this guy over here, Matt Skinny. They won't be eating.
Dude,
bro. They won't be
he's
eating.
starving.
No
They're
sales.
dead.
They're
He's
starving.
dead now.
He's dead, bro. I appreciate
Yeah,
you,
I got
bro.
you, bro.
I'm just leaving the PT right now, and Joe said something that most copywriters are struggling to understand still, or when it comes to offers. So it's not just about reaching out to your prospects, to potential customers, and saying, hey, I want to write your emails. It's about thinking about risk. He said something that is literally how client acquisition works. Doesn't matter if you have experience or if you don't have experience. And he said risk. He said, I'm not new, you are, right? So if you're like somebody without proof. So one thing he mentioned is you need proof, so show him that you've done it before. Now, if you haven't done it before, you have to be able to eat up the risk up front. So I'm back in town now, and I'm here to pick up my food. It's time for lunch. I ordered a chicken wrap. Johnny napkins. Our food is secure. Anytime I see videos like this, I want to tell you too, I'm having an above average day. Like everything's lining up for me to make this video and being able to film. Like I have enough time to play around with the camera. But there are days, the deadline for the promo that I'm writing is yesterday, and I don't have ideas. It's a bad offer. I'm stressed, I'm tired. And then I go to the coffee shop, and one cold brew doesn't get me excited, so I need 3 shots espresso. And ideas don't flow, but today is an above average day, man. And one thing that, I've been trying my best to live by this motto. When I have days like this, bro, enjoy them. Just enjoy them to the max. Do not delay the happiness. Because that was something I used to do before. I used to delay my happiness, bro. I would only be happy once I get another client. And I live with that, that little F in my life all the times. And dude, I found it extremely awful to live that way. It's 1 p.m., finish my lunch, first meal of the day, and I'm back in my home office. And I'm running into a challenge right now when it comes to this workshop. So I have the ads written already. So the ads are bangers. I have 5 ad scripts that are ready to go, but the name is not hitting. That was the feedback from the media buyer. The way I like to think about them is, first, it has to make sense. Like, I have to tell you what the name is, and it has to click. And then the tagline has to have maybe 3 benefits to it that your audience wants. I'm gonna give you the emails that you can send. This is 6-figure promo. This is literally how you start a promo. Nothing fancy. You wanna go for everybody who's extremely interested about the topic that you're trying to teach on, because this is the idea, right? That you are teaching something that people wanna learn. They don't dance, they don't beat around the bush. All they do is say, hey, this is the problem you have, or even more simple, hey, here's how we solve this problem. This is what we're doing on XYZ date, and this is how you join. That is it. Nothing more, nothing less. And that scoops a bunch of sales, right? So you got to think about the funnel. So you have all this massive bucket of people over here that are interested. But after that, there is you're left off with the lukewarms and people who are interested but need some convincing. So the next 7 days of promo can be something like testimonial. So a testimonial is somebody who accomplished the result that you're promising that they will accomplish. So the more that person looks like them, the better. And the more believable the testimonial is, the better as well. So it feels doable. You don't want to put a goal that is too far out of reach, because it might feel undoable. But even though, like, you can do 2 emails, right? Like one that is doable and the other one that is far out of reach, so it's credible. The next one can be something around the lines of problem, solution. So this is discussing the unique mechanism of the problem, unique mechanism of the solution. This is what you do there. Hey, this is the problem you have, right? As an example, you don't get clients because you send cold emails and cold DMs. Now, in this masterclass, we're going to teach you how to use a non-needy way to get clients that doesn't use any of those things. That's it. That's the problem solution email, unique mechanism email, you can call it. And then after that, we have something like, I would say, dream outcome. So I will tell them a story about what it feels like to solve that problem already. So what is life going to be like in the future? For example, hey, once you master how to get clients without sending cold DMs, you will wake up to messages like this every single morning, right? Somebody wants to hire me, blah, blah, blah. Then I will do something like this, unfair advantage. So unfair advantage is giving them an idea of how the world is going to be unfair to everybody else once they acquire the skill or thing that you're trying to teach them. Or how they're going to be working intelligently while others work hard. It's kind of like, hey, this makes the game unfair, or it will even the playing field. The big guys are using it, or the big corporations are using it, so might as well use it as well. And then after that, we're going to have something like a objection busting emails. There are 3 main objections that you should be gunning to overcome. So you have money, time, and value objection. So these are the main things that you should be overcoming with these emails. So money, how do you justify the price of your thing, right? Like, they obviously didn't just hop on the first one where you just promo. So they need something, they need to see more value. They need to see more value, more money. So a quick way to handle the money objection is to compare it to something else, like, hey, like as the email I mentioned before about how when you pay for a TV or you buy a cell phone, as an example, you're not just paying the cost of the thing, you're paying the price every single day when you are spending an absurd amount of time watching the phone when you could be working. But when you when you invest in your skills, it's something that continues to pay you on and on. So that can be the money email. Time, can they make it? If they cannot make it to the training, bro, can they make it to the training? If they cannot, they'll get the replay, right? So that's a simple objection. Or something like, hey, this doesn't require you to go through 10 hours worth of content that is irrelevant. This is literally 2 sessions, whatever. Like, this is how your time is going to be invested wisely, right? You're overcoming the time objection. And then you have the value objection, kind of similar to the money, but even if I pay you money, I don't see the value. Like, why should I even do this? One way that you can do this is you can talk about ROI, so the return on investment of learning or acquiring the thing you're selling. So that is an easy one. So hey, like, if you buy this program or if you start working out like this, you're going to gain muscles. Or if you learn this skill, you're going to learn how to get clients and you're going to make money. You're going to 10x your investment. Of course, if you're in a compliance game like I am, you wouldn't be able to say that. But the other way to do it is you can talk about ROI, or you can talk about this other thing called COI. So ROI is return on investment, and then the cost of inaction. Cost of inaction is what is the cost when you don't take action? What are the things that are going to be on the fence if you don't buy the thing I'm selling you, right? So hey, let's say that as a new copywriter, you keep on sending those cold DMs every single day. Right now you're discouraged. Yesterday you sent 100. Last week you sent 700. You didn't get a response yet. So you're pretty discouraged, which means that if you keep on doing this thing over and over again, what is cost equals effect? So can you predict where you're gonna, if you get on with us in this training, we'll show you what to do, right? So you don't have to keep on making the same mistakes. Cost of inaction, make it huge. This is how I create urgency. And then after that, I like to have fun with this one. Around here, dude, once I'm send like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, few emails. I would like to send something. I like to have fun with this. I like to test angles. Something like, hey, did you send me this? A testimonial or a letter of you from the future. And then I like to give people warnings. I make exaggerations. So warning shots like, hey, do not buy this because if I teach you how to get clients, you're going to be very busy. Maybe that's something you don't want to be, right? You won't have time to watch TV anymore because you're going to be so busy helping clients and making money that you won't have time to watch TV. Maybe people will start asking you to let them borrow money because you make so much money. So it's like you're just playing with their minds in a sense in this year. And then after last chance emails, and these last chance emails, dude, they're pretty self-explanatory. Last chance emails is just letting people freaking say that, hey, this is it. We're closing down and you're not buying. All right. So that is emails for you guys. So this is all the things that go into it. Now you pretty much saw the funnel and the front end, but now you get to see like more of the intricacies. And of course, like I'm gonna mention this later, but if you want to see how much money this promo makes, consider subscribing because maybe a month from now, I'll give you a breakdown. All right, on the topic of master classes and launches, I'm gonna call my friend Peter. He's at Alex Hermosis's office. He's training, and I'm gonna ask him some questions about how he thinks about workshops and see what he says. All right, let's see. The man, the myth, the legend. What's up, Peter?
Good to see you, bro.
Good to see you, man.
Good? Yeah.
Hair's looking nice, dude.
I just got a haircut 2 days ago.
I have a question for you, bro. I know you've been involved in a bunch of launches, and what are your thoughts behind them?
Pretty much, I think number one thing, it's you have to do it in order, right? So number one is like clear benefit. Number two is having a time frame for it. Number three is the mechanism, right? How is it different? Number four, figure out what the alternatives are. And I think number five is when you review the things that make it more clever, right? I think other people have it in a different order. Or they try to think of something more clever. I think that's interesting. And then they go backwards, right? They think what's clever, they think about a mechanism, and don't think about what the actual benefit is, right? At the end, when like the benefit, if benefit's not clear, then you have no problem. But what's in it for me? You have to ask the questions in order.
Interesting, bro. So do not be clever, do not be cute with the words, and be direct in a sense, like be clear.
Yeah, you could be clever, but that's like after every other box is checked out first. Yeah.
And you mentioned alternatives. What do you mean by that?
What have they tried that hasn't worked? Why does the thing that you tried now work? Right? Because usually you're talking to, depending on the market sophistication, right?
Yeah.
But usually if you're talking to market that's in like level 3, level 4, level 5 market sophistication, that means they probably tried something already. They've already heard all the claims. They've already tried. There's a bunch of other competitors out there that try and solve the same problem you are.
Dude, that is so on point, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, I wasn't even thinking about alternatives until now. I only went on promises, and damn, a rookie mistake here.
It's okay.
What
happens like in it.
What's that?
Yeah. It happens to that. I'm like writing a promo for a new low ticket too. And then sometimes like when I'm like, oh, it doesn't feel right, I have to like go through a checklist too.
Dude, you're right. So what has been like your biggest launch so far?
Biggest promo in terms of volume, I think when we did the physical Black Book pre-release, we sold like 5,000 copies in 2 days, right? And that was a cap, right? So in terms of the biggest launch we did, I think that was back in. I know one was down luck when we launched a high-income copywriter back then. It wasn't a great product, but like I think we got like 500, 600K in a couple of days, right? And then our challenges obviously did like a million, but that's like 5-day challenge, and then like a bunch of legwork. So probably those two.
Yeah, bro, dude, it was bro. You almost got me to borrow money for that copywriting product. That was when I was starting out, bro.
Yeah.
What has been like your biggest takeaway from being at the Hormozzi's office? If you can share that, of course.
Okay. It's like, yeah, maybe it might not be the best takeaway actually, but like honestly, I realized I don't want to start a business.
You don't want to start a business?
Because I'm talking to all these business owners, or like you find out they're like, oh yeah, I'm making like 3 million in top line revenue, and everybody's like, oh wow, that's super cool. And it's like, yeah, about 500 of that is like gross profit. I have a team of 10, which means you got to pay the team of 10. So it's on take home about like probably 100, 120. So like you're making a 6 figures take home salary on a 3 million business. You have like a team of 10 to manage on top of everything else. So that like, if you're just in business to make money, I would not start a business. But if you're like in business to solve a problem you're super passionate about, I think that's what I've taken away from it. Right? If I'm going to start a business, it's going to be something, it's going to be a problem that I actually want to solve, because all the headache for the financial return, if it's just for money, that's not the right reason to do something.
Dude, that is so true.
So what I realized is in life, any path worth going is going to be hard. You just have to choose the type of hard you want.
That's a fact.
Yes, sir.
Dude. All right, brother, I'll let you go, bro. Dude, thank you so much, Peter. We got to catch up. Oh, actually, bro, before you go, how can people tune in with you, bro? Do you have the YouTube channel? Do you have on Instagram? Can they find you or?
Yeah, sure. They find me on Instagram, Peter_LUU. I couldn't find the one with just Peter_Lou. Some other person took it.
What a rookie.
Yes, find me. I know, rookie mistake.
Yo, guys, this guy right here has been behind some of the biggest like online companies. He's been writing promos that's still around, and maybe they get steady behind the copywriting masterminds that you're probably in, or the gurus that try to sell you masterminds. Like some of his promos are the ones that have been used to teach, and he's the OG copy chief, the OG trainer of the trainers of the trainers. All right, Peter, thank you so much, bro. Peace. That's Peter Lou. Solid dude. So now I'm gonna show you how I think about cold ads. This is how you convert cold traffic. So I wanted you to first see this chart right here. So this is the 5 stages of awareness in any marketing message. So you have unaware, problem aware, solution aware, product aware, most aware. So this is where every single person in your funnel is wireless, right? So there's people that they don't even know they have a problem. There's people they have a problem. There's people that know that solution exists. There's people that know about your product, and there's people who know probably purchased from you before. And what you want to do is kind of like understand who you're writing to when it comes to ads. Most people make the mistake of just writing to one of these, and they completely overlook the other side of the funnel, the stage, the awareness, and then they don't squeeze most out of the cold ads. So here's what you can expect. This right here is going to have people who jump on board very easily, because this is very easy to persuade these people. However, the market's small. It's like a funnel. They're like, it's a smaller market because there's less people that know about you. And this right here is a big pond in a sense, like a big sea, but at the same time, you know, it's more expensive to convert them because they need more knowledge. So what I like to do with any ad I write, I only target 2 buckets. One is problem aware and the other one is super aware. And super aware, we will write something called obvious items, which is what Simon mentioned before. Obvious items is simple as the launch email that I show you before, which is this one right here, promo email. I literally take the same promo email and turn it into an ad. That's what I do. So with that one, with that obvious item, it's as simple as this is what we have, this is your invitation, this is how you join, this is the date, join. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Simple. Now with problem aware ads, we're talking, we get people thinking about their problem differently, the more skilled copywriter you're going to be. So I will show you now how I think about these ads right now. So what the most important part of an ad when it comes to this segment is the hook. So the hook is either the first 5 seconds of the ad, then we have the body, which is the rest of the ad, and then you have the CTA where you ask for the sale. All right, so the bulk of your results are going to be here. Like this is what determines if an ad works or doesn't. Like if you don't know how to write hooks, you are cooked, my friend. Because this is what gets attention, this is what keeps the attention, and this is what converts the attention that you just got, right? So how I go about hooks, it's very simple. Some of them are, hey, are you struggling with this? However, when I exhaust those angles, I like to do something like, I like to create juxtapositions in their minds. So questions that don't have answers, but they have create open loops. Like why or how are you doing that? Kind of like in a sense like, hey, it's unfair that a bunch of copywriters, or it's unfair that a small minority of copywriters are closing all the deals when 99% of copywriters barely make enough money to cover their ChatGPT subscription, right? And that doesn't say much or promise much, but it creates the problem, and you want to know what is it that I'm saying. You want to be curious at the bare minimum. And then I just lead with the body, and then I get to the call to action. All right, guys, so that's pretty much how you do this launch thing and what we're gunning for. We have bigger projects coming up later this year, by the will of God, of course. And if you want to be a part of that, as in like seeing the progress and me sharing this journey with you guys, subscribe to the channel. And if you want to see the results of this campaign that I've been working on today, some of the takeaways that would have apply if I was a beginner or intermediate copywriter or even advanced, if you aren't running workshops, is literally this. So you take exactly what I show you, you map it out on Miro, and you map out the funnel, right? So this is, we go from landing page to offer bump, thank you page. This is the landing page, and this is what we need to promo it. This is the 10 emails we'll need to promo this workshop, and these are the 10 ads that we'll need to run traffic to so we can get sales for the workshop. And this is the offer that you can make in the back end. If you present this to somebody, like a business owner, this is a far greater, like a more powerful move than if you just offer to write their emails, because a lot of people can write emails, but not everybody can architect campaigns. And this is the thing that you can do. You take something like this and you offer it from nose to tail. And as Joe, the PT that we saw earlier, mentioned, take the risk, right? So don't even charge for it. Be like, hey, I can do this for you, and you only pay me if you make money out of the workshop and you give me like a kickback of the back end sales. Dude, simple campaign that you can do, and they always work, man. If people have a good offer and they are really, if they're like somewhat good on camera and they can present well, like they will get sales. And this is what you want to go for. But selling this is what you want to sell. You don't want to sell, hey, I'll write 5 emails for you. Because there you're just selling deliverables. With a workshop like this, you're selling a funnel. You're selling the end result of it. And you're showing them exactly how this is going to play out, which is the thing that I show you here. So look, dude, this right here can get you a 3-5K client easily. And if you know how to negotiate deals, and if you get a guy that can cut your deal, like, the kind of people that we work with, I'm telling you, man, this is easily worth 10, 20K a project if you know how to get clients right. So I will leave it here, but again, consider subscribing because you have a lot more sauce coming. Peace out.